Hi, and welcome back to Chapter 2 in the history of Benalia here on Versus Live. Lesson 1 didn't go so well. Brad didn't really learn anything. The game's...
What? I reassured the facts that I've learned previously.
Yeah, but you didn't learn anything new, and that's a problem. So your studies have plateaued a bit, and they've stalled.
You're really taking this bit to heart, like going full blown on it.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, so our first video.
What did you expect me to do, Bradley?
Yeah, this is on character. So our first video, we had Golgari against Matt Nass's Golgari against LSV Boros, where Golgari kind of did its thing, and Matt Nass built a really good build for the Pro Tour. I think that whole team should have played it. We should have played it. That list was great. If we had that list, we would have had a lot more wins. It was just really well built for the tournament itself. Now things will evolve. We'll all have content on the website that's trying to keep us up to date as fast as possible. That's my goal on Thursday. But we're still learning things from this last Pro Tour Guilds of Ravnica. And the video we're doing, or the matchup we're doing now, I'm playing Eric Froelic's Mono Red Aggro, which he said had a great Boros Aggro matchup.
And I think that is the obvious deck to move to in a metagame where we expect these white aggro decks to become more popular. Goblin Chain Whirler is excellent in the matchup. Mm-hmm. You have cheap removal for different creatures, and then you can go along with them too if you want to. Mm-hmm. Maybe like Aurelia is a bit of a problem. You don't have a lot of good answers to that beyond Fight with Fire maybe, and that's not good against basically any other card in their deck. So that might be a direction to move in from the white side, but historically, the matchup between red aggro and white aggro decks is very lopsided in one direction. It just depends who has the right tools for the matchup, and it's usually white aggro just having much better creature quality, and that's where they get their edge, or red aggro just having really good efficient removal. And right now, I think the edge is towards the red deck, and Chain Whirler is kind of the linchpin of it. It's both a solid creature against anything the white decks are doing and a good removal spell.
Well, that's what I'm going to learn here. I definitely want to see how that plays out. Red, I didn't think it was going to be that good at this Pro Tour or highly played, and it ended up being like the fourth most played deck, maybe fifth. I was pretty shocked by that number, honestly, but that was because I just assumed it wasn't as good of a deck as it actually was. It was my mistake in testing. We had this format is so wonky because every deck has so many ways to build it that even on a super team, it's really difficult to get everything played out, especially if you have fringe decks that you're trying to work on. So I'm excited about this one, and this video specifically might have some insight into what the standard player in Las Vegas this weekend might be playing. Honestly, like I think that you might be seeing a lot of white decks or red decks based on how this matchup actually plays out and how you can like one up each other.
Yeah.
Todd?
Sears just points out the mono red deck did kind of crush the Magic Online PTQ. Apparently it did really well.
Cool. Awesome.
Yeah. And I mean, if that's the case, and like, people were kind of like copying all the decks they were seeing on camera all of day one, like white was featured quite a bit. And if mono red kind of picked up on that, I feel like them having a good day is indicative of this matchup actually being pretty good for red.
One specific element of Andrew Ellenbogen's version of the deck that I think helps me a lot in this matchup is the inclusion of Venerated Loxodon. This card, the 4/4 body is very good, and it lets you extend a bunch of creatures onto the battlefield and then immediately get them out of Chain Whirler range. So I'm going to be looking to utilize Venerated Loxodon and draw that card as much as possible, which is basically the same thing I've been doing in Standard on Versus Live for 3 months, so no surprises there.
Yeah, I mean, the cards you liked the most since day one won the Pro Tour.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that's just the truth of it. Like,
sometimes it's really, really easy, and the cards you like are great. Sometimes, most of the time, the cards I like are really bad, and so I have to struggle.
It's kind of like a monkey paw wish, where all the cards that you like in Standard are actually good, but you never get to play Standard.
Yeah. But everything has potassium benzoate.
Anyway, let's get into the games now. We keep going back and forth. Do we roll dice again, or do you just get to be on the play?
Let's roll dice again.
All right.
But let's do odd even this time.
Odd even?
I'll take odd.
All right. I'll be on the play.
All right. While y'all are looking at your opening hands, I'm going to ask a few questions here. We got a lot of questions queued up. We're just gonna hit like 2 or 3. Histeus wants to know, Brad, since you're playing the red deck right now, I'll just ask you, what do you think is the preferred split of the cards Risk Factor, Experimental Frenzy, and Rekindling Phoenix?
I do not have the answer. I'm going to default to Eric Froelich knowing the answer.
Well, what's in your list?
I don't know. I just posted his list.
I'm guessing there are no risk factors.
I
We
think
have this
there's.
handy cardboard live.
Yeah,
Yeah,
if you
yeah.
check the cardboard live extension that is hovering right on Brad's hand right
real
now.
quick, real quick. Boop. I'm pretty sure this list has one Risk Factor main, one Wizards Lightning main, no Phoenixes in the entire 75, if my memory serves right.
I like that.
You
I
like
think
that?
Phoenix would have been bad.
Oh,
for the
he
Pro
went
Tour.
with my favorite tech from Grand Prix, New Jersey, which is Daredevils. I think this card is so good.
Yeah, I'm very happy that red decks are picking up on Darfleet Daredevil being very good out of the red sideboards.
Man, at that GP, when I played my first Daredevil against an Is It Drake's deck, the person just gave me a look like, you did it again, and I am not happy. Like, I am not happy about this at all.
Important to note, Ephro currently has 0 risk factor, but the version of the one that MTGO PTQ had 4. And someone else said that they were also
Ephro cut the one for the main?
I'm just going by what people are Twitch chat.
Oh, I thought Ephro was
I
in the
can't see
chat.
the extension on Twitch chat.
I kind of expected Ephro to be here with us. He has
Really?
been before. Well, he's been before.
Oh, you mean in chat? I thought you
Yeah.
meant physically here. Oh, he is here. He is
Yeah,
here.
yeah. So, like, hey, what's up, Eric? I'll try to. Hey, Eric, should I keep this hand? This might be a slow video of me just.
Yeah.
One lander on the draw or the play.
Do we have a helipad on the roof? We can
It's
just
on the
get Eric
play,
here
it's
in
not a
a
one
few
lander.
hours.
Well, I can only see one from here, man. Okay, let's just get to the match.
All right.
I'll ask questions
turn.
at a better time.
Okay.
We need to
I have a
actually play the
hand
match.
that might get completely blown out, but might be great. So let's start with the Healer's Hawk.
Mr. OVD asked, "Did Brad just scry his entire deck?" That's the new mulligan rule. If you mold a 6, you get to scry your deck.
Your turn.
That seems reasonable. Okay, well, attack for 1.
Okay, Noah Johnny Private. That's great.
Yeah, I led with Hawk just so in case I drew Primate, I'd be able to play it.
Oh, there is no Primate in this build.
Oh yeah, what
Yeah.
am I thinking? I'm getting distracted from what we played last match. Either way, leading with Hawk is probably right to gain life.
Yeah, these mostly white Boros splashing red decks are
Um,
kind of difficult to figure
Angels
out.
and vampires.
Yeah,
Well,
Angels-
I don't think my hand beats a Chain Whirler, so let's just hope.
Well, I've got some bad news.
20. All right, sorry. Draw, mountain, chain whirler, trigger my runaway, trigger my chain whirler, attack you for 2. You're at 18. I'm at 19. Your turn.
Well, it was fun while it lasted, people. We
Got a
figured
Vampire
out.
token.
Okay, so now we already figured out how to beat the white weenie decks. Let's
Yeah.
play mono red.
All right,
So
thanks.
now,
for,
next
we'll be taking a 10-minute
yeah, we're
break.
gonna take no. So now we actually just have to go. Okay, again, what beats mono red? And it's like Golgari with Wild Growth Walker. We already figured this out. It's just a cycle.
Yeah, it is. All right, put you at 16. Trigger the runaway off of the Viashina Pyromancer. Attack you with.
I'm at
these
10.
2. All right, you're at 10. I'm just going to shock the lifelinker, getting
So-
another trigger off the runaway.
So bring me to 9.
Yeah, put you at 9, and your turn.
Don't want to make any manas.
I don't think so. I think I can just hold off for now.
That seems like a great draw. I'll go to 7 and Tribunal the Steamkin.
Nice. You're at 7.
I will remove that and lightning strike you down to 6.
I'm dead.
No,
I shocked, so I'm going to
He
4.
doesn't have to
Oh,
attack yet.
yeah, I don't have to
He could just
attack
put you to
you.
1 and toy with you.
All right, well that was fast, Eric. Did you do this to people all day at the tournament? That was
Yeah.
disgusting.
He beat it. He did it 3 times.
Yeah,
David
that's
Williams
really
did it
good.
3 times. He did it to 24 people on Moto.
All right, well we're gonna take a quick
No,
3-minute.
we're not. We're gonna answer some questions.
Okay.
We were just on break.
All right.
Definitely need a little bit more space. That game was not long at all.
We got some time. All right. We got 9 Soy Milk wants to know, when is karaoke?
I do not do karaoke.
Ross, when is karaoke?
In Roanoke, most nights of the week.
That's not what people are asking. They're wanting to know when we're doing karaoke on the show. You promised it with your dream and your tweet.
I didn't promise anything. I just described a weird dream I had on Twitter.
Fine.
2, if, and this is a big if, we were to ever do karaoke on a versus live episode, it would certainly have to be one with me and Todd playing. Because Todd and I are the ones that actually enjoy karaoke, unlike Brad.
That's fair.
That is true.
All right, Efro Poker.
Which is why the dream was so weird.
Answers the question you asked. Is this what you did to people at the Pro Tour?
Yeah.
Efro says, well, I usually stalled on one land for a couple turns after I mulligan, but that was still the end result. Which is great. Mincy K wants to know, is that Drake's with or without Electromancer? Thoughts?
With Electromancer, not close. I got to spend a week with Johnny Magic working on Izzet decks, and he is an Electromancer fan. But all of his reasoning made sense, even though he's really biased towards it. And it made me think that those versions are just much better.
Spark Trooper wants to know, if you get X amount of subs, will we get some singing? Can we make it a sub goal?
How many subs do we have?
It would have to be a lot of subs.
How many subs do we have right now?
Okay.
I
right
don't
now,
like singing at all. I
Right
have
now
a
we have
terrible
around
voice.
150. I'll tell you what, if we hit 200 subs by the end of the day, I'll sing a whole song on camera. I'll do Take Me to Church.
This is
or
a
something.
Magic stream and we're professionals.
Take me to church. That's a preview.
You got to sing The Gathering song.
I can't. That's the rap one, right? Oh yeah, Brad's the rap god. He can do the Gathering.
What?
The Gathering, the Peach Chapin
Oh,
one.
no. No.
All right,
I'm not-
last question before we go to sideboard break. House 177 wants to know, why Doom Whisper over Carnage Tyrant / Vraska in the previous deck?
Because Carnage Tyrant was this threat that's good in a lot of matchups, but all those decks have like leaned down, got more aggressive. It's just how a format works. And also Carnage Tyrant is great in the Golgari mirrors, but the problem with Golgari right now and for weeks is if you build your main deck of Golgari to beat itself, it just loses so much in other matchups.
All right. Well, I might have bit off more than I can chew. We got 2 subs coming in. Dab HS coming in with Twitch Prime and Spell Swindler also with the tier 1 sub. Thanks, y'all. If we hit 200, I'm gonna do it. But we're gonna take a quick break right now while Brad and Ross get sideboards together. We'll be right back.
And welcome back to Sideboarding with Boros Aggro, Andrew Ellenbogen style versus Efro's Mono Red Aggro deck. I am bringing out some 1 toughness creatures against Goblin Chain Whirler.
I'm also bringing out 1 toughness creatures for 1 power creatures.
Yes. So Adonto Vanguard is the worst creature in the matchup, being that it is 2 mana for 1 toughness. It's a huge liability to pay 4 life in this matchup to make it indestructible. So that was the easiest cut. Then I think Sky Marcher Aspirant is the worst 1-drop. Dauntless Bodyguard lets you extend a battlefield without losing as much.
Mm-hmm.
The other 1-drops have lifelink or more than 1 toughness and Snubhorn Sentry.
They can also be cast the turn that you're going to Venerated Loxodon on.
Yeah, which is why generally 1-drops are better than Vanguard. And then we're bringing in a Johnny as our 4-drop of choice over Experimental Frenzy. Johnny has a more immediate impact. I think I need to be closing games in this matchup. So the +1/+1 counters on my creatures is super relevant. Sometimes you just bring back 1 and start rebuilding a battlefield with it. So I'm siding with the Johnny here. Hopefully I get to Emblem. That'll be fun.
All right. So for my side, one of the things is Mono Red does have the ability to just steamroll over a white deck, but that's usually involving cards like Runaway Steamkin or Chain Whirler. The wizard aspect of this deck, and I thought was very interesting to even see the list play a ton of Lava Coils and only 1 Wizard's Lightning. It was a very metagamed version of the deck. But these Get 2 Lava Runners and Vision of Pyromancers is not what the deck wants to do in a matchup like this. Instead, we have Fiery Cannonades to go a little bit more control against the wide aggressive elements, Treasure Maps to go with the Experimental Frenzies, and Burn Spells to just kill everything and generate a lot of value. And even Dire Fleet, I was doing this with Boros Angel sometimes, just bring this in as a first striking blocker against cards like History or things when you need to develop, just something to put into play early. And the benefit in this deck is that it doesn't get picked up by the sweepers. Chain Whirler is not a universal effect, and Fire Cannonade doesn't hit pirates. So
That's gas.
That is actually
Being
nice,
a pirate is awesome.
Oh yeah. So here's a fun. I'm going to tell the whole world this story. I told my fiance not to tell anyone after round 4 of the Pro Tour of this, but I'll tell it. So I finished my match. I play against Izzet Drakes, and it was a very stressful game. And I was like, well, my opponent could have all of these XYZ things, and that's why when I said go, I thought I was at like 40% to win the game, maybe less. And I was like listing off all the ways I could die, and I was like, even if they had a Fire Cannonade, they wipe my board. I only have a Wild Growth Rocker. I don't have any way to put counters on it. I'd die. And she's like, no, you wouldn't. And I'm like, yes, I would. I would have died to a Fire Cannonade and 2 attacks. And she's like, Vraska makes pirates. And I'm like, Don't tell anyone this.
We've been over this on
Oh,
live
I know.
a few times.
I can never get it. And the first thing is I told the story and they're like, "What do you use as tokens?" I was just like, sleeves.
All right.
KFC
Well,
sleeves.
during the break, we actually had 5 more subs come in. Just want to give a big shout out to Zyke, Searsist, Evan Rolston, the Third Boy Wonder, and Pinot Graham. We are 38 subs away from getting me to sing some karaoke at the end of the broadcast.
Does that mean I can leave though, right?
Yeah, you can go.
Okay. All right.
You are not needed here. Also, it'll be a cappella, unfortunately, because we don't have the rights to
You don't want to be
that.
his backup dancer?
Oh, that would take like 200 subs for me to even involve myself in this.
Just for me to sit in the chair while it's going on.
Yes.
For anyone just joining or who has gotten here in the last like 20 minutes or so, we do have a new overlay. That is the Cardboard Live extension. It shows both deck lists. The one on the right side is for Brad. The one on the left side is for Ross. If you're curious about the deck list, feel free to click those and you should be able to see. If you are a mobile, just click the little icon that looks like a puzzle piece, and that should bring up the Cardboard Live extension on mobile. The rare, and I mean rare, extension that works on mobile. Give it a try. Take a look at the deck list.
All right. I just want to shout out to Eric. My hand is already so good. I don't even think I want this 7th card. This 6 is so good.
Just draw the card.
Ooh.
I don't need any of your pity, Brad.
Oh, this hand is so good on the draw.
Okay, well, I have a Savannah Lions. So
Congratulations.
This sometimes flies. Also, Spark Trooper coming in with Twitch Prime sub. Thank you.
Dead.
Kill
Your
it.
turn. Kill it with fire.
Well, now I have a
Not
tap
the
Sacred
Firebrand.
Boundary
Also a pirate.
and Snubby.
Oh no. The toughness.
It's the unkillable one.
How can I deal with the toughness your turn?
Snubby is here to save the day. Okay, well, let's play History of Benalia. Chapter 1.
The knight rode gallantly into the fray.
I was going to attack to send a message, but then Brad would probably be able to attack with his Steam Kit.
Yeah, he just shocks and hits you for 2. It's like, oh no, what have I done?
All right, I'm gonna strike down the cinch. Actually, no, I should just attack, right? Attack.
I don't know.
Do I have a strike?
Double block, Ross.
Well, you would need strike plus...
Shock.
Yeah, like I'm not going to block the knight. It's pretty clear you have one thing. I don't think you wouldn't make this attack with nothing. But so the block I'm considering is with Snubhorn Sentry. If you have like shock strike, you'll shock this, strike upstairs, and I lose my sentry. Which is
I was gonna say the probably worst case scenario for you, and I haven't seen Brad's hand, is if you block with the O3, then he shocks your O3 and plays a 2-drop.
Hey, don't give them all my
I'm just
great
saying.
lines.
I figured
would-
it out.
that would just be trading the Snubhorn Sentry for a shock.
Yeah. Why would you do that?
I'm just gonna take it.
Nice.
You're in this like weird controlling plan. I think I can play around with
How
my
do you
life
know
a
I'm in a
little bit
weird
more.
controlling plan?
You just showed me. You also traded 1-drops on turn 1 and
Go.
19. Draw.
Chapter 2. All right, you have 7 permanents.
Ugh. Both y'all.
8 permanents.
So I have the combo, but that would run headfirst into a fiery cannonade. Brad would lose his Steamkin,
Yeah, I don't
which
wanna
isn't the
lose
worst.
that.
I would
What's
I-
the combo?
The second
History of Benalia plus History of Benalia.
Oh,
It's the combo.
That is a good combo.
Yeah. It would also give me a 10th permanent to ascend the Snubhorn Sentry. But given that Brad passed here on turn 3 with no play, I kind of feel like the cannonade is reasonable to happen here. So I'm just going to play in a Johnny instead.
Ugh.
And I'm going to plus counter on Knight that can attack, counter on Snubhorn.
1 second.
This sets me up reasonably against Cannonade. Like if he Cannonades in response here, it loses his Steamkin. I still have a 1/4. I have this Ajani going. He'd have no pressure on it.
Do not like that. Do not like this. All right, I'm lightning striking the Snubhorn and shocking the token.
Yep. And I'll pass the turn.
Don't know if that was the correct play, but it's the one I made.
Yep.
I kind of like maybe lightning. I don't know. I can kind of see your hand, but I was thinking maybe you'd strike the Ajani, let him hit you for 1 or not attack with a Snubhorn, and then coil the Snubhorn. That way you can just have if you draw a land, you get to kill the Ajani this turn.
That's true. I didn't like my play. All right, attack the Ajani.
Okay. I'll let this happen. If Brad had a strike or a shock wouldn't have killed it on my knight, but you already used a bunch of them.
I don't like any of this. I don't like any of this at all. I feel like I've thrown this game away.
Maybe.
I think I actually
you
did.
still have 4
you
cards
just
in
play
hand.
stuff the previous turn, you get to use your mana better, I think.
Yeah.
What you got now?
Not a lot of good stuff.
Yeah. I'm going to call this chapter The Empire Strikes Back.
Nice one, Ross.
So you're gonna get that to go off.
Oh, no one laughed, so I got that.
Yeah.
But thanks for telling me and making it explicit, Todd.
Well, no one laughed because there's only 2 other people in the room besides you
Go.
and Brad.
Treasure map. That's a weird one. So, draw. Chapter 3.
Apparently, your bad manners from the first match are on Reddit, Ross.
His bed.
Because he didn't shake your hand
Oh,
as a joke.
thank you.
I hope
Thank
people
you,
take it
chat.
seriously. I hope people take
Yeah.
it seriously. That'll make me.
That is so good.
I want to take the pressure off my Ajani at this point, so I'm going to plus put a counter on this knight, attack you for 5.
Yeah, you're not. What? Oh, you're gonna just kill my runaway.
Yeah, and then tribunal the steam
All
king.
right. So I'm at 15. All right. I will map.
I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map.
Keep that karaoke preview going.
Yeah.
Map.
I'm the map. I'm the map. Every time he does it.
Draw.
Oh, Ross, get out of here with changing dice.
On
Well,
an
we'll call
SCG
that.
Live
Your turn.
broadcast or SCG
Okay.
Tour broadcast, that would not make a difference for us.
Yeah.
No? Thought that was supposed to be a black die. You got 2 cards in hand now?
Yep.
Gentlemen, I just want to point out, y'all need to interact a little more. I feel like y'all are both playing solitaire right now. You're not really talking to each
Okay.
other.
let's
tough game.
This was standard, not modern.
Yeah.
let's repeat our history lesson from before.
All right. You're down to one
Chapter
card.
1. Yeah. And I have 8 permanents, so let's
Ugh.
go for Snubhorn back.
So now you have
9 permanents.
9.
We're close.
So I think I can take. Can I take a natural draw here? I think I'm going to. Natural draw. Ooh. I like that. Shock. Your turn.
Draw.
Trigger.
Get a knight.
And now you're at so I
9
can't
permanents.
control anything. I'll respond. Ooh. Nope. I'll let
Just let him have his 3/3.
You're getting the wrong tokens there, Ross.
Oh, that's a vampire.
let him have his 3/3.
Yeah. Because you get to kill a 2/2 in response.
But if
Just
I do
take 3, you're at 15. He's not like pressuring your planeswalker or whatever.
But if I do this, then I don't think he's gonna get up.
All right.
It's
You
ever
do
gonna
you,
be...
baby. You do you.
So right now we're at 9. If I take care of these 2 permanents, we go down to 7, 8, 9, and then you can stack it next turn. All right, fine.
Okay. History, get another knight, get the
Yeah.
city's blessing,
Yeah,
and attack you for 5.
cannonade.
Take 9.
Oh,
Pride cometh before the fall, Bradley. That's another history lesson for you.
that was bad. All right, we're
You're
gonna.
at 6.
We're gonna bottom that, draw, and dead.
That one hurt.
Ooh, that was bad.
Oh, that one hurt.
I felt like I did not play that game well.
Thank you, Todd.
Well, it only got 2 extra damage in.
Yeah.
The same thing was going to happen
Oh.
if you tried to Canada, except you would have guaranteed
Yeah.
to have one more 2/2 in play.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you were going to save from the Canada no matter what. You just
Yeah.
you just dealt two extra damage.
Well, that did not feel good.
There may be a correlation here.
Yeah, you drew 3 histories.
Wait, was it 3?
Oh, yeah.
Nice. Nice. All right, let's do a couple more questions before we get to game 3 while y'all are shuffling up. And are you going to re-sideboard at all? Anybody? For us? No?
No.
Okay.
Johnny was good. I was thinking about going super hard. Like, once you see treasure map in game 2, maybe I want to bring in like my frenzies
couple
too.
people said you already had 10 permits, you big dummy.
Well, the second history was the 10th permanent.
I don't know. I'm just
Whatever.
saying.
We'll let it go.
I had 5 lands. I had 5 lands, 1 history. Oh, I had the tribunal that was
Yes,
over
you
here.
did.
Yep. I wasn't counting that either.
I wasn't either.
Yeah.
Sorry,
My bad.
we got student loans coming in with Twitch Prime sub. You know, usually student
Surprised
loans
they have the
be
money for
asking
that.
for money.
Yeah.
Student loans be giving it away. Thanks for the sub, dude. Also, we got CrowdGen in NYC wants to know, Brad, what was the most fringe deck that your team tested with leading up to the Pro Tour? The most fringe deck.
Well, you already mentioned with a
All
blue
the-
black enchantment.
All the
Disinformation
disinformation campaign
campaign.
decks. I would say the most fringe was a Bant, Gift of Paradise, Dawn of Hope to Fairy mid-range deck. That would probably be the most fringe, was a Dawn of Hope control deck.
Cool.
Mid-range deck.
Sounds pretty sweet. Are you going to be writing about that at all in your article this week?
No.
So on turn 4, when you have Dawn in play, you go like gift my untapped land, gain 3 life, pay 2, draw a card.
There's a lot of things that were going on with it.
All right, last question, then y'all can play this game 3. Fader Man wants to know Jade Light Ranger versus District Guide in Black Green. Why is it shifted so far away from District Guide? And also, is it just because of Wild Growth Walker?
Yes, Wild Growth Walker is very good. Also, Jade Light Ranger, I thought District Guide was better because it does feel better on turn 3, guaranteeing a good turn 4. But later in the game, one of your best explore targets, when you find Finality, when you Memorial to Folly, you're hitting these Jade Light Rangers that can dig you deeper into your deck to find specific things. So Jade Light Ranger is good with a variety of reasons.
All right.
You're
We've got a
good,
sub
yeah.
here from 9 Soy Milk. Thanks for the tier 1 sub. Let's get to the match.
All right, my hand is not that great, but we're going to start with a Firebrand and attack you down to 19.
Bang.
19. I will start with a Legion's Landing. Get myself a vampire token.
You have a vampire token. I will attack you. Oh, no, attack is bad.
Attack
I'm
is
gonna
way
block.
worse than
Yeah.
just activating.
Go.
All right, now here's a good question for me, Brad. We talked a little bit about it in sideboarding, but I don't think we got the point across. You have Direfleet Daredevil in your deck after a sideboard in this matchup, even though the white decks don't have any targets for the ability. Is the 2/1 first striking body that important?
I don't know how important it is, but it's probably better than the other cards that you could have left in your deck.
Right, the Pyromancer, Vaishnu Pyromancer got
Yeah.
cut. What else got cut?
All the wizards.
All the wizards.
All the wizards. Nice.
Yep.
G2 Lava Runner.
Sure.
And then the
All right. I'm just going to strike down the Sentry. It just feels like it's going to have to happen.
strike me
Okay.
down, I'll become more powerful than you could possibly imagine,
All
Bradley.
right. I'm going to attack you for 2.
Little history lesson from a galaxy far, far away.
Oh, why did I let him have this
I don't
stick?
know, man.
I'm 17.
It's the
Go.
only way he wins matches on versus live. He just goes history into history. Into history.
No, you can play with history.
Actually, or whenever he gets to play Dredge, he does pretty good with
Yeah.
Dredge. Too.
Attack for 1.
Block. Shoot.
Well, I'm going to play 2 more Legion's Landings and pass a turn.
All right, Brad.
All
quick
right.
thing here. I think this is kind of interesting. Why did you block first before you activated the Fanatical Firebrand?
In case he wanted to Pride of the Conquerors or had a combat trick. It's just better play to
Yeah.
put it in front and then kill it. It's the same result 100% of the time if the creature dies, and if Ross is ever going to protect it in whatever way, it stops it from dealing damage.
Excellent. Good to know.
All right, so you have how many cards?
3.
3. So I don't like 1-for-1ing with these cards, even though it doesn't even matter. It's like But like, there's
well,
multiple reasons to do so.
I like seeing Brad use a shock there because it means he doesn't have Chain Whirler in hand.
That's true.
I don't.
So it seemed like game one,
Go.
Brad won entirely on the back of a turn 3 Goblin Chain Whirler. Has not drawn it since, and the games look a lot harder.
I feel pretty a favorite in this game.
I mean, you're in this game, sure, but that's because Ross threw 3 Legions landings. Not really doing a whole lot.
Okay, so I want to get this Ajani down, but I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. So if I plus and put a counter on my Vampire token, the Dire Fleet still gets to cleanly attack. That'll bring the Ajani to 3, and it'll die to a Lightning Strike. I can, alternatively, -2, bring back Snubhorn Sentry. My Ajani will still die to a Lightning Strike, but it'll also die to Shock. But I'll have something around even if it dies. So I think I'm going to go for the Snubhorn play.
All right. Treasure map. It feels like I have to keep
Recent
that.
substitute loans wants to know opinion on Venerated
Alright,
Luxon versus Heroic Reinforcements in the Boros Aggro deck, Ross.
On what versus reinforcements?
Just Venerated Luxon versus Heroic Reinforcements, or I guess neither, because Luis Scott Vargas played neither in his.
You have 2
final
cards in your hand?
2, yeah.
list.
I'm not a big fan of reinforcements. I know Brad talked about it earlier, and he liked it. Just because it just doesn't do a whole lot unless it's essentially putting your opponent dead, either literally dead or
Dead in 2
yeah,
swings.
dead in a
To
swing
no
or 2.
outs. Yeah,
And I think as the metagame, it's a card that gets worse the more the metagame is prepared for these kinds of decks.
sure.
So I think the metagame is going to turn in a way that is bad for it, whereas Loxodon is just an individually more powerful card. I like Loxodon a lot, as I've noted many, many times.
So I have a tough turn. I can do this to Sentry attack Ajani. A chump block could happen, and then Ajani would do that, and I could maybe do that. I can just take care of it, but that'll leave 7 permanents. That 3 cards in hand. It feels like things could get out of control. It feels like things could get out of control in a variety of different ways.
Brad, do you mind just saying everything you said again, except talking about the cards in your hand? Because I was trying to get him to put the hand cam up, and we
Okay.
kind of missed it. And I think this is a really good turn. This is like probably one of the most important turns of the game.
All right, so I can Lava Coil here, attack Ajani, and that gives Ross the option to protect the Ajani or not, depending on the cards that are in his hand.
Right.
And I'm giving Ross options. And I never like giving my opponents options when I have different lines. Sometimes I default to the line that doesn't do that. I can also Lightning Strike Ajani. There's a bluff where I attack, but and with Chain Roller, but that's going to happen. I Chain Roller, these die. Still, Ajani's on the board. That would happen if I have Chain Roller. So I don't like the bluff.
Also, it's like pretty clear that you haven't had Chain Whirler.
Until this turn, I
Yeah.
scried top.
Yeah.
So I can Lightning Strike Ajani here, just say go. There's a good chance that this turns into a 3 and starts attacking me. But that'll also leave this for a Hierarch, which I feel like is a scary card. Now, if I use this here, this dies. You make big creatures. All of a sudden, I have to Lightning Strike this, and there's 2 big creatures in play. So I think the best play is just to Lightning Strike the Ajani and say go.
Okay. So now I feel pretty good about getting back to Snubhorn because Brad had the Lightning Strike, so I got paid off. And that is a good draw.
Ruh-roh.
Sky Marcher Aspirant into Venerated Loxodon.
Ugh.
That's gross.
And that does not.
No, that's not 9 permanents.
Yeah, you're still short here. All right, well, we're going to have to put that on the bottom, even though it's a decent card. And untap. I guess we'll just take a natural draw once more. All right, I'm going to Lava Coil the Venerated. And pass the turn.
This is a
Okay.
super interesting game.
And creature.
I'm trying to figure out what I would do in Brad's shoes, and honestly, it's really hard.
Oh,
Another 4-drop?
Yeah, it's just a Conclave Tribunal.
Target?
I'm going to target the Dire Fleet Daredevil.
Okay.
Yeah, nice.
Okay. Play a land, get the city's blessing.
No!
Okay.
Yeah,
Plus
so I did the
Gonna
tri-
turn on Snubhorn.
Yeah, attack
And I'm
for
at
9.
11.
And I gain,
And
and
you
this
flip
transforms.
Ugh.
So this transforms. You're at 11. I'm at 19. This treasure map is going to transform, but now I'm pretty far ahead on board, so Brad's not going to have a lot of time to draw cards and utilize the extra cards he's drawing.
All right, well, I'm going to keep that on top. This is going to flip. I get 3 treasures. I'm going to do them arena style.
Ryan Overturf, national treasure here,
All right,
making
untap,
an appearance.
draw. I'm at 11, so I can live through the turn. I'm just going to play an experimental frenzy.
Top card is a 1-drop. It's
I
not
have it.
revealed, Brad.
Oh yeah. I mean, I still can cast it.
Yeah,
Sure.
you could just.
Or
Mm,
I can do this.
why would you do that?
Just to
Is-
clear it away.
What is this going to do for me?
You've already played a land this turn, though, so there's no real point to popping it.
but
Plus,
if
you might need the treasure.
but I burn all of my overturfs.
No, I'm not saying cast it. I'm not telling you to cast it. I'm telling you to wait.
Oh,
And the chain whirl actually isn't particularly good here. All it does is check the vampire. The Snubhorn's a 4/4 and the Sky Marcher flies.
I feel like I'm going to lose this game pretty easily.
Oh, attack you for 9.
All right, take it.
Brings you to 2, and I gain 2 to 21. And I just drew a land, so pass the turn.
All right, so if you hit a land off the top here, you just kill this whole board.
Well, that I don't want to hear that. Why would
How
you
would
kill
I
me?
kill the whole board?
You have 5 with fire in hand, right?
1, 2, 3, 4.
You have 8.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I thought you were building to this the whole time.
No.
He forgot to knock his deck
Oh, crap.
All right. Well.
because he didn't know that he needed the mana source.
Yeah.
That's a punt.
All right. I'm gonna shock this. Ugh. Wrong one.
Oh, you
Ugh.
did cannonade off the top?
Yeah.
That's gross.
Cannonade. Or wait. Wait, no, I don't do that. I don't do that at all. I'm just going to play Chain Whirler and Trick. Oh, yeah, I can't cast from my hand. I haven't played this card in a while.
You have a blocker or a 2 damage spell?
I have a blocker. It's not a great one.
Okay.
Just do that?
Yeah. Land off top.
No, but I have another blocker.
All right, you can't cast the fire with fire from hand anyway because of the stupid frenzy.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
Sorry.
You got me.
I
all
was messing Brad
tripped
up.
up.
That's my bad.
Go.
You have the
Oh, yeah, I have a
counter on
counter.
the frenzy.
Although Firebrand's pretty good. And a turn,
Yep.
make a
Yep.
token. So now the Steamkin gets to sit around
Yep.
till
My
I
apologies, though.
draw Part of the Conquerors.
Elder Crane said you should have just shocked yourself to end it.
Yeah, I mean this,
Blocks, shoot.
well, actually, I guess if I attack with this, you can block and shoot me.
Oh, yeah, I can just do this.
Yeah, so I
you
just
can
shouldn't
with
attack.
that.
So
Block, shoot.
yeah, which is what's going to happen. I drew another land.
All right.
Oh, you got an active Danto. That's pretty good.
Land.
Is
Oh,
there
wait, I
another
can just do
land?
this.
Yeah,
I can
draw a
just do
card.
that. Draw a card.
Land.
Lava coil.
Nice.
Trigger.
Oh, we're doing it. Oh, we're doing it. Let's go. Experimental frenzy.
All right, I'm at 2, so I still just am going to say go. Your turn.
Instead, make a vampire.
Yep.
Chapter 1.
There we go. There we go. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Draw. Land. Lava coil. Goblin chain roller. Trigger. Oh, yeah, this is at 3.
I'm at
Oh,
20.
wait, no. Sorry. I went to 3 last. I'm going to.
3 off the lava coil. Untap your 3
Yeah.
mana.
I
You
should just use this, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should attack first, I think, because against a 1/1,
Oh, yeah, sure. I'll
You
attack
attack
you
Yeah.
for
before.
4.
he's not going to block.
Then
That
I'm
brings
gonna
me to
remove
17.
this trigger.
Reset
I'm
that
going to
brings-
slow. I'm going to slow down.
Okay.
So triggered this, triggered that. So what's your life total after
I'm at
taking 5?
16 because I was at 21.
Yeah.
Okay, you're at 16. This happens. That
Yep.
kills that. Go.
Instead, make a token.
Yep.
Draw chapter 2.
And now Brad has a stocked hand, too. So
Yes.
if at any point he just wants to sacrifice the frenzy, he can go off.
Interesting. If you're at 16.
So if Brad wants to right now, he can pop off the frenzy and just cast 4 mana worth of stuff from his hand, and maybe more if he pumps the Steamkin.
And I'm at 2 still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, I'm going to sack the frenzy. I'm going to play a chain whirler and trigger it.
I go to 15. Steamkin gets another counter.
And
I'm not sure what I need to draw to get back into this game.
I mean, I don't know if I want to offer up that trade.
It's not a trade, right? Oh, with with the first 4. Yeah.
I guess this is just alt tech with that.
Yeah, I like that tech.
12.
Yep.
Your turn.
Instead, make a token.
Yep.
Draw chapter 3.
Yep.
Really wanted to draw a removal spell for this Chain Whirler.
But you didn't.
No, I didn't. I drew another history though.
All right.
That's not bad. Get another night token. Pass the turn. Maybe I got too aggressive with this Tribunal, but it was to get me to the City's Blessing.
What happens if you blow up his stuff and 5 him in the face? Puts him to 7.
Well, I didn't want him to.
We talked about this
I guess
5
he
turns
knows.
ago.
I guess he
have
knows.
it.
Fine. I think that is the best play.
Yeah, I mean, if you just attack all out.
2, 2, 1, 5.
I go to 7.
7. Trigger
Counter
my
on
runaway, and I can attack with everything because he has to block.
Yeah.
Yep, and he has
so
to block the
make a
Steamkin.
token, block the Steamkin.
You take 5 total.
Yeah,
You go
brings
to
me to
2.
2. So 2
Your
apiece.
turn.
And
Yeah,
now
you can't use the Steamkin though.
I don't
which kinda
think I
sucks.
have any.
It would be heroic reinforcements.
Yeah, which is not in my deck.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's another land.
Wow.
You got me.
Wait,
that
I want to have
is-
another turn. I want to
that
have
is
another turn.
experimental frenzy.
I want to have
at
another
its
turn.
Finest, y'all.
3 counters. I'm gonna have one more turn. Runaway Steamkin. Oh wait, no, I haven't paid any. All right,
So
I
you
have
have one
1
red
mana floating. I'm gonna play a Daredevil. Oh, I only need 1 mana for that.
Yeah.
So
So no mana floating.
no mana floating, and then I'll pay 4. I'll play an Experimental Frenzy. Trigger. Ooh, that's a rough one to start the turn off with if you're trying to go off with the runaways.
Yeah, that's a little weak.
Well, you can just cast it for mana when they're big enough.
Yeah.
You're
Yeah.
gonna.
All right, we don't have a ton of questions. Still just some from earlier. Everyone was super into that game.
It was a good
me
game.
especially. It was a great game.
No, that
A
was
lot of
good
people
game.
just commenting on the power level of Experimental Frenzy.
I think it's a mistake. We don't even understand it yet.
Dude, I mean, every time I see my opponent untap with that card, I'm usually dead.
Free spells, free mana are just disgusting.
Yeah.
See 1 or 2 more good draws in there when I hit the pocket of lands to end the game.
Yeah.
You don't have a lot of time against an Experimental Frenzy before it buries you. And I
Yeah.
had 2 turns maybe.
Yep, 2 turns.
Yeah, I mean the power level of the card in that very specific scenario. I know that like I didn't mean to skew the game. Apologies if I did, but it was me basically just forgetting the fact that you couldn't play the card from hand with the kick fire with fire. I didn't mean to mess you up.
That was Return of the Jedi.
What was
No.
from Return of the Jedi?
That game. Chapter 2 was The Empire Strikes Back, so that chapter was Return of the Jedi.
I thought this was match 2, so this was chapter 2.
The weirdest thing also about Experimental Frenzy is when you're doing like a thing like versus live, you forget some of the random rules of Magic or the ones that get added to the game like that. But now they'll make a Reddit post about me trying to cast things out of there.
Yeah, I've got the bad manners. You've got the Experimental Frenzy cast from hand. We'll trade off. Let's see who will screw up.
Todd's gonna have the. Oh, did he really just sing?
Any new subs?
No, not since we had 9 Soy Milk earlier. We do have a couple questions rolling in. Jared Ferris wants to know where are Selesnya tokens positioned in this new metagame?
I think poorly. It's good against the Boros Aggro decks, but I don't like it against Boros Angels, Golgari, which I think Boros Angels or Jeskai Angels has a chance to come back. We actually talked about that at the Pro Tour that might have been a good deck choice. Just running back our GP New Jersey deck, which was sad to hear when we didn't like our list of Golgari, but that Golgari and I think certain versions of Red are favored against Selesnya the way that they're being built right now.
Now
the
that
Selesnya Angels decks maybe have a chance in the format.
well, the token stacks have moved away from Thorn Lieutenant and towards Adonto Vanguard, and I think if they move back towards Thorn Lieutenant, they get a lot better against the red decks. If
Yeah.
that's what you're trying to beat, because That's what we saw in the first 2 weeks of the format, and that's when Selesnya was at its best.
Well, but I think so. For example, Is It Drake's, I think, is one of the best decks in the format. I think
Agreed.
the Boros Tokens decks are a good way to get under them. But outside of that, I think like the way that Golgari decks are being built now, I think the matchup is in Golgari's favor. Ari Lax wrote about how he was just like, Golgari's bad in all these matches. Was like what builds are you working with? Like,
Yeah, the problem is that there's 10 different ways to build a Golgari
no,
deck.
I know.
And, yeah.
But the versions that went to this Pro Tour could beat Is It. Like we smashed Is It. And that's one of the problems with Is It Drake's, is that the deck is kind of built and it has to be built this way. It's really hard to like really tweak
It's
your
the
deck.
least malleable of
Yes,
the decks.
for sure. And I feel like right now it's not the best choice, but Selesnya Tokens is one of the decks that just gets annihilated by Is It Drake's. Just annihilated. It's just not fast enough. It doesn't get on the board fast enough. It removes all sorcery speed.
Yeah, it's not great against flyers. Like,
No.
Ted Costa wants to know, what's your opinion on the mono blue list that went 10-0 in the Pro Tour?
I mean, so I wanted to know what I didn't see a mono blue deck at the top tables at the tournament, so I'm assuming that the limited went bad.
It had
Yeah.
to be if he's 10-0
Yeah.
and didn't make top 8.
And I think that mono blue in general is just a decent deck to play if you like playing that deck. I do not think that it takes over metagames. I do not want to have these conversations with people where I say it's bad though, and one person top 8s with it at a tournament. They're like, see, the deck is great. I'm too, like, I've had that conversation too many times in life. I think the deck is just fine. I don't think it is good. It's inconsistent. Its powerful draws are so absurdly good,
yeah,
but
and
it also
anything where
just
you
draws so
landed a
poorly.
turn 2 obsession that goes unanswered, you run away with the game super easily. Anything where you get to untap with Tempest Djinn. It's basically Tempest Djinn and Curious Obsession are your Thassa and Master of Waves. And then you
I think it is the best deck to play in the 2018 Player of the Year playoff under those structured rules.
Sure.
I think it was by far the best deck to play in that tournament
Yeah.
where you get a free mulligan.
Okay.
And you just get another free mulligan to find Obsession.
Yeah.
And you get to know if you're on the player draw with it and you know your matchup. It's just absurd. But like in the real rules of Standard, I think the deck is going to disappoint more than it impresses.
No, I mean, I think that's reasonable. I mean, personally, I don't think it's a fluke that one went 10-0. I think that if you run hot...
Of course it's a fluke.
Okay, it's a fluke if any
10-0?
deck goes...
Of course it's a
If any
fluke.
deck goes
Eddie,
10-0.
yeah, it's a fluke for Eddie.
Sure.
When I went
What?
9-1, I've never went 10-0 in a Pro Tour. I went 9-1 once, and it was with Obs on Aggro. And I think I went Lion into Unoffensive into Siege Rhino like 12 times. like an absurd amount. Like all my matches. BBD's like 5-5. He's like, man, this deck is a struggle. I'm like, what are you talking about? I just keep going Lion Witch Wardrobe every single round. That's what we called it. But Lion Witch Wardrobe every single round.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, like you said, the deck is pretty high variance in that the draws that feature Curious Obsession are just significantly different than the draws that don't.
Yeah.
Personally, I saw a version that I actually really liked on Magic Con the other day. It was all 4s in the main deck. There was no Chart of Course. There was no Sleep. It was just 4 Spell Pierce, 4 Wizard's Retort, 4 Dive Down, and then 4 Obsession, and then 4 of all the creatures. And it was the tightest looking list I've ever seen, and I want to
It's
play
probably
with
winning the 9-card rule.
Oh, yeah.
Where you can play a deck with like 10 or 11 individual cards. 9 is the usual.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you can get to 9 if you play 24 lands, right? 9
Yeah.
different cards.
And then 10 if you, yeah.
Well, if you
No,
count the
it's
land,
10
it's
if you
10.
play
No, if
20
you count
lands.
10, yeah, it's 10. 10 is the minimum that you can play and still look like a functioning deck.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's going to do it for our second match for today. We're going to be taking a 10-minute break here and getting ready to play Yuya Watanabe's Is It Drake's against
Taejon Howe's Boros Aggro deck. This one finally features heroic reinforcements, which should be pretty good in this matchup.
and I
Where
think this was a match in the top 4 of the tournament itself.
it would have been a top 8.
It was in the top 8, yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I think you're
Yeah,
right.
I think this did get played. So I'm going to do my best to play Is It Drake's. It's not a deck that I have had a lot of preparation with. It's actually around. Do you want to? Okay. I mean, I'd like, yeah, it's yours. But it is a deck that I played against a lot with a lot of different decks. I usually was its enemy or it was my enemy, but it was not my deck. With like my brother already knew it. Like our team had a lot of people that played Drake, so I was just like, you do that, and I'll work on the things that I'm good at. But I'll do my best.
Okay, and I'll do my best to win a match where I don't draw pre-history vanillas.
I will say that Histories from the first day was just beating us up, and it's been getting worse and worse. So anyway, thanks for watching, everyone. Stay tuned. We'll be back in 10 minutes. And yeah, that's all I got. You got anything else?
Back in 10.
All right.
One last match for the day.
I gotta during this 10-minute break, I'll have to give Ross a history lesson. All right. It was